Okay, Erev Tov everybody. Mitzvah Mem Zayin, the 47th mitzvah, Shenitztavinu. We are commanded, here when he says we, he's in reference to Bedin. Lehamit ha'ovrim, are obligated to execute al ksat mitzvot shebatorah bechenek. That if someone violates certain mitzvot in the Torah, we're obligated to execute them by chenek. Chenek is strangulation. Shneimar, as the pasuk says in Parashat Mishpatim, Makeh ish vamet mot yumat. One who strikes a man that he dies, it shall be put to death. So this is not talking about an inadvertent killer. It's talking about someone who does it deliberately. Vezu shel makeh ish achat mehen shemitatan bechenek. This violation of someone who strikes a man and kills him is one of the violations that carry out a death penalty of strangulation. Now, there's a note over here that says that really in other places the chinuch writes that the death penalty for someone who kills someone is not chenek but saif, hereg, which is beheading or beheading. There's a lot of commentaries that write and try to figure out why the chinuch would write a different punishment for this particular act. They don't give an answer over here at the bottom in the notes. But anyways, Sharei katuv bo mot yumat. We know the pasuk says mot yumat, shall surely be put to death. It does not tell us how the person is put to death. Beferush amru zichronam libracha, Chachamim in Masechet Sanhedrin says, Kol mita ha'amura b'Torah stam. Whenever you see the word mita, death, execution in the Torah without specifying, ena ela chenek. It's in reference to strangulation. Sometimes the Torah tells us and specifies, sakol yisakel, right? That he gets stoned. But here it just says mot yumat. So anytime it's mot yumat, it's chenek, strangulation. Shoresh mitzvah zu. So therefore we have a mitzvah. One of the 630 mitzvot is to execute someone with chenek when he's deserving of it. We're going to see later on that not everybody, that the Ramban doesn't hold that this is a mitzvah. Shoresh mitzvah zu nigle lakol. This mitzvah is evident to all. Ki melech b'mishpat yamid aretz. It is through justice that a king establishes the land. Meaning the government has to establish and impose justice. Shilulei yirat mishpat. If not for the fear of justice, yahargu bnei adam zeh zeh, people would just kill one another. Alken tzivanu el baruch hu la'amit harotzeach, and that's why the Torah commanded us to execute the murder, because you cannot say this pasuk means that it's a mitzvah of not to murder, because we already had lo tirsach, not to murder, right? That's one of the 10 commandments. So this pasuk of makeh ish vamet mot yumat is in reference to the bedin executing the punishment. That's in זה משהו אחר, זה בשוגג. זה לא בשוגג. זה במזיד. ובחוכמתו ברוך הוא, in his wisdom, ראה שראוי לענוש אותו במיתת חנק. Hashem saw it fitting to punish this guy with strangulation. והדבר נאות גם לדעתנו אנו. And it's appropriate for our thinking as well. כי כאשר עשה כן יעשה לו. Just like the murderer did, it shall be done to him. והרוצח כוונתו להמית הניצח במהרה. The murderer's intention is usually to kill the victim quickly. Because due to the fear of his victim, he wants to kill him as quick as he possibly could. And therefore Torah was also lenient with regards to his penalty. To kill him with strangulation, which is a very swift execution. And not with burning or stoning, shehen betza'ar rab, which are both very painful. Ve'ulam b'mishpetei azima. However, with regards to the penalty of zima is immorality. Shene'enu ha'ovrim ba'averah, since the violators have pleasure in performing the sin. Ve'nimshecha hana'atan ksat, and their pleasure extends for some time. Tavo ba'en pa'amim serefa, pa'amim sekila. Therefore, their punishment is also more severe, either at times serefa, if it was a kohen, or a sekila. Dinei mitzvah, the laws of this mitzvah, ketzad kegon, for example, Ma Shamru Zichronam Livracha, the rabbi said in Sanhedrin, Shemashki'in et hamechuyav bezeved al arkubotav, that Bedin takes the condemned person and submerges him into manure up to his knees. V'chorchin sudar kashe letoch harakal tzavaro, and they wind a coarse scarf, in a soft one, upon his neck. Ze moshech etzlo v'ze moshech etzlo. This witness pulls towards himself, and that witness pulls towards himself. Ad shenafsho yotz'a, until the sinner's soul departs. V'yete pratea, and all the other details of the mitzvah, mevoarim beperek zayin min Sanhedrin, can be found in the 7th chapter of Sanhedrin. Mitzvah zu ena noheget ela ba'aretz. This mitzvah only applies in Eretz Yisrael. She'en danin dine nefashot ela ba'aretz. We only judge capital cases in Eretz Yisrael. Umi shebeyado la'asot din ve'eno oseh. Somebody who has the capability to mete out his justice and doesn't do so. Bitel aseh zeh ve'odsho gadol. He has violated a mitzvah and his punishment is great. She'ilmale mora'at adin, because if it was not for the fear of the law, ishatreu chayim balau, as the Pirkei Avot says, each person would swallow his fellow up alive. Now, he concludes this mitzvah by saying, Haramban zal lo yimne zot ha-mitzvah v'cheshbono. The Ramban does not count this as one of his mitzvot. V'chen kol arba mitot shel bedin. And the same with all the other 4 forms of execution. Shehen sekila serefa hereg v'chenek. Sheimne Rambam le'arba mitzvot, which the Rambam, Maimonides, does count. So again, Nachmanides does not count the implementation of the execution as mitzvot, and the Rambam does. Rather, the Ramban says, Ki b'pasuk shel ubi'arta hara mikirbecha. There's a pasuk that says that you shall destroy evil from your midst. That is the pasuk, Tzivta Torah derech klal, that the Torah gives us a general rule, Sheneva'er kol oseh hara mibenenu, that we are to destroy all evildoers and all the reshaim from among us. Ubo nichlelu kol adinin, and in it you have all the laws of administering justice. And when the Torah then specifies the various laws with respect to the punishments, this is not considered an independent mitzvah. It's just explaining the details of the matter. Let the wise man choose which opinion is more fitting in his eyes. Whether you want to count the execution as a mitzvah or you don't want to count the execution as a mitzvah, each one will have, their own opinion. Okay.